going on, guys? This is Qazi. Welcome to another epic video, the Revenant look. It is, again, one of the most ass looks on my Instagram and YouTube. It is finally happening. I wanted to take my time with it because there's a lot of nuances and a lot of little things that are going on to build this look. And the way we're gonna create it is through a look DNA. So it's going to be super simple to replicate from shot to shot in your entire scene, okay? Also, I wanna give a shout out to my brother Christoph for hooking me up with this epic footage. Check out his Instagram page. And if you've missed the Tenet look that I did, the link is up here, check it out. Also, if you wanna learn how to create the most asked commercial look, which is the clean white look, or if you wanna learn to work 10 times faster in DaVinci Resolve, there are 2 trainings that I put out. They are absolutely free. Link is in the description. Go ahead, check it out. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. It really helps grow this channel, keeps me motivated. Subscribe to my channel for more awesomeness. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Let's roll the intro. All right, let's make another legendary tutorial. Here's the shot that we're gonna be using from the Revenant, one of the most beautiful looking films and highly, highly requested by you guys. So I'm stoked to be doing this. Let's analyze this a little bit differently. Okay, this time I'm gonna start drawing on here and kind of just take you through a few things that are happening. So first thing that we notice is that we have this complementary scheme going on in the sky. We got this cyan, we got this salmon action, and then this is what's creating the complementary scheme for the most part. Our grass is burned and desaturated, or it's probably natural. That's what's happening there. Our black points are proper. We can see the black points right here being proper too, so very important anchor to remember. And then just look at the step action that's happening in the highlights, and that's another thing that we have to keep in mind when we're building it. This action that you're seeing, this mountain looking thing that's happening up top, what that means is the vignette. So if I were to clear this up and then draw out a vignette for you, you can see this vignette is pretty strong. It's this, and then even the softness is not that much, and boom, they're pulling it down. They're just taking it from here, pulling it down pretty hardcore, and then that's what creates this mountain looking shape in your parade, okay? So these are the things that are very important to remember, because now that we broke it up like that, it's pretty easy for us to attack it and build out our node tree and go about our look. Just remember a few things, okay? When I'm gonna be creating this look, I'm not going for 100% one-to-one match because my girl is at a different time. It's like 9 a.m. or something like that. It's not dawn, and we don't have a sun coming out from behind the mountains. We don't have that mist happening that's happening here. So now let's go to my shot and look at it. This is the frame that I'm gonna be parked on. So now let's check out our shot, right? So a few things that I can look at is it's a really well-balanced shot. We can see it in the parade, and it's not gonna be hard to get our black points right. We're just gonna make sure that that stays even. Now let's look at a few other things. I'm gonna have to grab my grass, desaturate it, swing the hue, and get it in that burn world, okay? That's not gonna be hard. I'm gonna take an opportunity in my sky. There's this bright area, then there's this sort of like mid-tone area. So I'm gonna create my cyan here and salmon here. And this is how we're gonna have our complementary scheme that's gonna happen. Now, we don't have any mist happening here. So like I said, I'm not gonna be going for that. We also don't have sun coming out of the mountains in the back, because look at the light, right? Look at how the light is reflecting here, which means the sun is somewhere around here, right? So we can see that. So I'm going to keep my grade realistic. I'm gonna build a look DNA, and the way we're gonna create this is that you can take it and then apply it to your footage and get the look DNA of the Revenant, instead of like literally becoming a copycat and creating a window behind her and creating the sun behind her like that. Stuff like, we're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna try to keep it very realistic, okay? Now, let's just jump right in and start building out our node tree. So the first node is going to be my primary, so I'm gonna keep it right there. And then this one, I'm going to call it Sholut, or LUT, like whatever you wanna call it. Then we're gonna create another node, and then this one, we're gonna call it Look. So this is going to be our look. And then in this one, I'm gonna grab the grass. And then here, we can do our glow, but I'm not sure. I'm going to try the glow. Let's hope it works. If it doesn't work, no big deal. Okay. And then this one is going to be our vignette. Actually, you know what? Let me swap these. So yeah, if you hold down Command and drag and drop, it swaps the nodes. So we just got vignette to the left side and then glow on the right side. That's going to be our final node. So this is our setup. And the show LUT I'm going to be using, you all have this. This is basically the 2383 Kodak D65, the warm version of it. And it is under Film Looks, which comes with DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so everybody has access to that. So once I drop it in, it's pretty crunchy because if I bring in the shot, like, I mean, look at our shot, it's like super crunchy. So let's open it up a little bit. So I'm going to go under my key mode and I'm going to take the output and kind of bring it down like around somewhere around here, 7.ish, 7.5-ish. So basically we're just trying to get that film curve really honed in. And this is going to give us more of a cinematic film look. Okay. And then I'm not going to make any more changes. I'm just going to leave it as is. Now I'm going to go under my primaries. And in this node, let's go ahead and use our temp and tint controls to kind of start bringing in some of that warmth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here. I'm going to go under selected images so we can see what's happening. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to move this over so we get more room. And let's make it a little bit bigger. So even something like that is not bad. So let's now bring it over like that. So now you guys can see what's happening. I'm going to go under my temp and I'm going to start putting in a little bit of warmth. Let's go too far, then obviously pull it back. So I'm going to leave it somewhere around here. So look what I'm trying to do. Okay, if I turn this off, look at right here. Just focus right here. And then when I turn it on, look at what happens. So now we're starting to create that shape that's happening here. Okay, so that is very important to remember. Now we're doing that, right? So now I can take my tint and move it around a little bit more to see if I can control it a little bit better, right? So somewhere around here, I'm going to take my temp and move it up more. I'm going to take my temp and move it a little bit more, bring it back. So even if I go before and after here, this is not bad, okay? This is giving me this shape. It's helping me out a little bit. Let me just take my temp a little bit there, and then I'm just moving it around to see where the black points and everything is looking proper. So this is looking pretty good. I'm actually happy with this. I'm not adding any saturation because obviously there's not much saturation happening here. So I'm going to leave it as is. One more thing I want to do is I'm going to go under my primaries and I'm going to lift up my gamma and bring my gain down. Okay, open up my image that way. And then I'm going to take my lift and pull it down. Lift down, and then I'm going to take my gamma up and then gain down to kind of open up my image a little bit, okay? Another thing I want to do is I want to go under my log wheels here and pull my shadows down. And then obviously it looks too crushed, and I'm going to go under my low range and open that up. All right, so this is really giving me what I'm looking for, and it's really helping out with the overall image, and it's kind of letting the image breathe, which is just very important. I want to go back and kind of play with my temp and tint because I feel like I might have added a bit too much warmth. I'm going to take my temp and pull it back a little bit. I'm going to take my tint and add a little bit more salmon, not too much. Pull it back a little bit, to be honest. So somewhere around here is a little bit more of like this kind of mood that we're trying to create. So if I do before and after, big difference we've made so far, okay? I personally feel like this is not bad. One thing that we can do is we can go in our look node now, and I'm going to go under my log wheels. And what I want to do is I want to take my highlights and start adding a little bit more salmon. So kind of be aggressive with it, you know, and even just something like that. And then I'm going to take my midtones and I'm going to start injecting that teal, okay, like this kind of action. So I'm kind of creating that right now. And you can see that, right? So creating this action right here. So if I do before and after, you can see that we have salmon now, and then we have this teal, like we didn't have that before. And it's gonna bring it in here as well. And obviously we don't have clouds there, so we're not gonna see it as much. But like, look at how much of this mood, if you will, it's adding. And I think it looks really cool. And something that we can do is that I'm gonna take my low range and control it. So basically what I wanna do is I don't wanna put it so much in the mountain, and I just want to keep it up top, like up here, okay, the changes. And this is looking much better, right? So honestly, this is starting to look really good. Now I'm gonna go under my grass. What I'm gonna do is get rid of this mode. And now what I wanna do is in here, select our qualifier. I'm gonna go under here, grab this, and then click on here to see what we're grabbing. And obviously let's go ahead and modify it because I don't wanna grab her face. That's really what I'm looking for, something like that. And keep going to see if we can make it a little bit cleaner. And let's see. Okay, so something like that. And then I want to go under my denoise and like really raise it to around 10 or 11-ish. I'm going to come out of here. And now all I want to do is I'm going to go under my primaries. I'm going to take my gamma and gain and kind of move it up to kind of burn it. See, I'm burning it, right? And then what I want to do is I want to go under my saturation and kind of kill my saturation. So now if I bring this next to it, like look how close we got, and it has that burned look, right? So if I do before and after, big difference, right? Like this is what we had. This is where we are now. Yeah, we can dial it back a little bit more. So that really created that mood. Okay, that really helped quite a bit. Now, what I want to do is I want to go under my vignette, and I'm going to kill this, go under vignette, and just create a kind of a crazy shape. Like I really want to create a shape like this, like that kind of shape, and then just go around 24-ish, invert it, go in here, and let's go back in our split screen mode. And then I'm going to grab it from here somewhere and like really pull it down. And now do before and after. So obviously we got to move this around because like right now it's just not looking realistic at all. So I'm going to go back in here, move this around, and keep, maybe pull it in, to be honest, like that. And now let's go do a split screen, because see how drastic this is? We kind of have to create that here. It's the same way. So now we're starting to create this kind of thing. And if it's a bit extreme, you know, obviously split the difference, bring it up. But even something like that, it is really making a big difference, okay? And this is very important because you're gonna see, okay, when we start moving the shot, like this is really going to help. So I just feel like it needs a little bit more mood, because I feel like there's just a bit more tonalities that are going on here. Like there's a salmon in the mountains, and then there's all these colors. So what we can do is we can start pushing it a little bit. So I'm just going to play with my lift gamma gain and my look node and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to use my gamma to add that cyan. And now I'm just like I'm really looking at these mountains, and I'm trying to get some of that color in, something like that. And then it's helping with the sky too. So I'm going to take my gain and add a little bit of that salmon, that warmth that we have going on in the Revenant. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. Let's add a little bit of saturation too, because you just never know, right? So like adding saturation, obviously let's pull it back, and even keeping it somewhere around here, I think it helps a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that really did the trick for me, to be honest, because it just started accentuating a lot of like these colors and started pulling it in. And guys, again, like I said, I wanted to create the essence. wanted to show you like how we can build this look in the bones instead of like really just doing a mindless one-to-one. And you can even see here, we're creating that mountain of a thing that's happening here. And then like, look at it, right? So we started creating that, and like our reds are here, then our greens, then our blues, our black points are even. So there's a lot of things that are happening here that are very proper to this look that we're trying to create. Okay, so now if I just keep going back and forth between the two, this to me is a good interpretation of the Revenant look. Let's try using the glow and see what happens. So let's go back into glow. Contrast quite a bit, but let's just go in here and let's go into open effects, into our glow. And let's bring this guy again and let's start messing with it, see what happens. So I'm going to go in here to my soft light. I'm going to pull my threshold back quite a bit. Actually, I don't know. I don't think that it ruins the image, to be honest. I think it does help. Now if I do before and after, this actually might brought us really close, to be honest. Wow. That is actually insane what it just did. That's blowing my mind how close we got just adding that. And now what I want to do is I'm going to take my blend and kind of blend it in. I want to take my brightness and pull it back just a little bit. All right, so guys, I know that our contrast, like this is still really soft compared to what we have. But again, I will not make my image look worse just because I want to fit it in, because it's totally different, right? Like he is standing next to the grass, whereas this is in the background. So of course it's going to be darker. So I personally am really liking, I feel like it is its own version of the Revenant look. I don't want to change it, guys. So I'm going to park it right here. Okay. The way it is, this is my interpretation of the Revenant look. And the best thing about building a look this way is that it is going to hold up. So if I go through, just look at it. Okay. So if we would have created this by bunch of different windows and all that stuff, we had to track it and then it just wouldn't have looked proper. This is ready to go. Now we can paste it from shot to shot. I mean, look at the movement that's happening in this one shot alone. And it just looks epic everywhere. Even if I park it somewhere around here, like look at it, all the things that are happening, right? So if I come here and turn this on and off, we see how much of a difference it's making and making it look so cinematic. If I turn the glow on and off, like look at the juice it's adding in the back, you know, all the things that are happening, right? The look node is doing all the things, like that salmon that we had to create. We created it very gently and carefully. Let's go ahead and kill all of these and start from the top and then see where we started to where we ended up. Let's put them next to each other. So we started with the show LUT and controlled it a little bit with opacity and everything. Now you're not going to see these bars because I have the proper aspect ratio when we come out of this mode. So see, there are no like black bars anywhere. So don't worry about that. We're only seeing them because we're in this mode, okay? Split screen. So then I went and did my primaries and we did a lot of the heavy lifting here. Then we went into our look and just look at a little went a long way. We used our lift gamma gain and we used our log wheels and just look what we were able to create and the information we were about to pull. This one was very, very important because it really kind of created this, you know, lifeless feel that we see in the Revenant and looks very cinematic, to be honest with you. And then the vignette was the pretty major sauce to what they got going on here. And then we were able to create that by adding vignette. And then the glow, I think, really brought it together because up until here, it looks kind of digital and it looks kind of just like something is missing, a punch is missing. And the glow and the way I use the parameters and everything just really brought the whole thing together and made it look so professional. And guys, this is our final look. Let's check it out in full screen. guys picked up tons of tips and tricks, and as I mentioned, I was not going for a one-to-one match because in this situation we can't. Every footage is going to be different. Your talent might be wearing different clothes, so you have to keep all these scenarios and things in mind, but it's more about capturing the essence, right? So getting those S-curves right, getting the saturation right, getting just the entire mood in the right place, and that's what we created here. If you guys have any suggestions for what kind of movies I should cover next, drop a comment below. Do not forget to check out the training. Literally will transform you from not knowing anything about Resolve to be a freaking Resolve Jedi. So check out the training, link or in the description. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more awesomeness, and I will see you guys in the next video.